It appears that we have a new film to claim the title as the biggest box office opening weekend film during the pandemic, and that is F9. It has officially booted A Quiet Place Part 2 out of that spot, even though I think A Quiet Place Part 2 is a much better film in every single aspect. But it is what it is. F9 is now the biggest movie, and I think that at least the thing that we can all take away from this and be happy about is the fact that people are going back to theaters, that people are supporting theaters once again. That makes me more happy than the fact that Hollywood is making money once again. It makes me more happy to know that theaters are making money once again, that people are going back to theaters. Because a year ago from this time, I was saying that theaters are probably going to be dead, that theaters are done. And that's what I thought. And it looks like that is not the case. That people still want that social connection. That people still want to go out and watch movies in theaters. And that makes me so happy to see. So we're going to get into all of this. We're going to take a look at F9 and the box office and everything else, because it is kind of crazy. And it is very telling where things are going to be going. But before we do, I want to talk about the sponsor for this video, the Coldest Water. And like I said, and some of my other sponsors when it comes to the Coldest Water, they are absolutely fantastic. I absolutely love this bottle so much. This is the best bottle that I've ever had when it comes to holding water, because it actually keeps your drink cold for up to 36 hours. It is odor resistant. You don't need to worry about that. That is one of the things that bothers me so much about most bottles, is that they get this weird like odor after a while. This bottle doesn't do that. And I can put ice cubes in it, and the ice cubes are still there after like 36 hours, which is absolutely insane. It keeps your drink cold for a very long time. And it you know, as you probably have heard me talking about in some of my other videos and stuff, I am trying to kind of make my life a lot more healthy and stuff, and trying to go for a more healthy lifestyle. And this encourages that, because it actually keeps my water cold, and I just carry this around with me all day. And whenever I want a drink, I just drink some water. And it's awesome. It's awesome. And I think that you guys will have no regrets if you go and check out the Coldest Water and get yourself some of their products today. Links are in the description of this video, so make sure you go check out the Coldest Water. It is totally worth it in every single way. So let's go ahead and get into this. Vin Diesel celebrates F9 box office, declares cinema is back. So following F9 scoring the biggest domestic pandemic opening weekend, stars Vin Diesel and Charlize Theron celebrated its impact on theaters. F9 stars Vin Diesel and Charlize Theron celebrated the latest Fast and Furious film's record-breaking pandemic opening weekend. For over a year now, major releases have either been delayed or forced to switch to streaming platforms due to theater closures. The global 2020 box office was down $30 billion from 2019. After delaying its release by a year, F9 released internationally in May, scoring the biggest opening weekend since the pandemic started with $162 million from only 8 markets. The business also took the entire franchise past $6 billion in global grosses, which is absolutely insane. F9 was projected to earn $67 million in its opening weekend and surpass A Quiet Place Part 2's record opening, but in true Fast and Furious fashion, the film drove through expectations, earning $70 million in its opening weekend. The film now holds the record for the biggest pandemic opening weekend, almost signifying the return of theaters. I don't think it almost signifies. I think it does signify. People, like I said, people want that social interaction. And as much as people get annoyed by a lot of people in the theaters and stuff, there's people that were really annoying me during F9 when I was watching it and stuff. There was this guy that was in the theater. He literally was on his phone like the entire time, just looking at stupid stuff on Snapchat. And it was just incredibly annoying. It was incredibly annoying. His girlfriend was there and she was trying to get him to stop and stuff. And eventually I just went up and I was like, hey, dude, you either need to put your phone away or I'm going to like call security on you, and you need to get the hell out of here, because this is just absolutely ridiculous. If you want to just sit here and look on your phone and not pay attention to the movie whatsoever, you can do that out in the hallway. You don't need to do that while you're in the theater while everyone else is trying to watch the movie. So there's always that type of stuff, right, in theaters, but people still want that social interaction. That's the main point that I'm trying to make here, is that that's what people want. People want a sense of community. People want to experience things together. That is what we are as human beings. And as much as the powers that be want to take that away from us and continue to just make us mindless NPCs for their benefit, we don't want that. People don't want that. Inherently, people do not want that. So although F9's opening is considerably less than Furious 7 and the Fate of the Furious' opening, it's a big win under the current theatrical climate, which of course it wasn't going to be as big as those movies because we are still in this weird state where most people, or not most people, but a lot of people are afraid to go to theaters or whatever else because they think that they're gonna die or whatever. But you know, I think that more and more people are going to be returning to theaters once again. So Diesel told Variety cinema is back while expressing his joy at people returning to theaters, and he took his hat off to Universal for holding out for the theatrical experience. Darren called it the perfect movie to help us come back, and star Jordana Brewster also celebrated its success. So Diesel said, I think what feels best is just the idea that people are returning to the theatrical experience. It feels good to say cinema is back. You can't fault another studio for wanting to stream a movie, but the ones like Universal are bold enough to say, hey, we're going to support the theatrical release. I take my hat off to them. And honestly, I get that. I really do. And I have to say that I also have a little bit of respect for them because of that too, because I think that the theatrical experience is important. It really is, especially when it comes to movies. Darren, it's amazing. Just thinking about the fact that they're on their 9th movie, that's pretty impressive. It's a perfect movie to help us come back. So anyway, so that's where we are at right now. You can go watch my review on the movie if you want to. I wasn't a huge fan of F9, and I wouldn't even recommend going to watch it in theaters probably, unless you just want to go watch the stupid action pieces, which, you know, those are always entertaining in the F9 or the Fast and Furious franchise. But the writing is honestly just pretty awful in this movie, and so we'll see what happens with that. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure you go check out The Coldest Water. You will not regret it. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will talk to you later. Bye.
With my heart's desire.